Refresh has some upcoming releases that you're really excited about. I'm familiar with some of these even before I ever even thought about asking you to come on the show. And again, that's why this feels so inevitable. So some of them including Totally Slow. Downhaul's been getting a lot of attention, and Gnawing. And you and I talked before. I'm hoping to get Gnawing on the show because they were nice enough. John was nice enough to reach out and talk. And really, anybody listening, just so you know, bands, anybody, if I see you have an interest to talk, like Josh didn't even reach out to me. I just saw he tweeted about it. And so I reached out to him. Like, if you're into talking about music, just put it out there. You never know who might want to talk. But Josh, Totally Slow, Downhaul, and Gnawing. This is a great example of that sonic diversity that's affiliated at Refresh. But there is some continuity, like you said. I think there's a little bit of that punk, a little bit of that indie, a little bit of grunge that comes in there as well, too. Talk to me about these bands, their releases, and why you're excited about them.
Yeah, I mean, like you just said, it is a good example of, I do look at all these bands and I see them as part of the same community, but I don't look at them as the same genre or the same sound. Like Totally Slow is just straight punk. They're just, just like a skater punk vibe that I absolutely love. And they've been doing this for years now. I mean, this is their fourth album. They're based here in North Carolina as well. And I've seen them around. They are just always full of energy and just put on a good show. So their album comes out actually in 2 weeks, I guess. Yeah. Or maybe 3 weeks. The first Friday of next month. And yeah, we've got some more singles coming out, some more videos. They've just been killing it. And we've been real excited to start working with them. Downhaul obviously has been on the label for a minute. They put out their first album with us, and then they put out an EP called Tornado Season 2 years ago. That was it was funny enough, it was supposed to be a bridge between the first album and the second album. Like there wasn't supposed to be this big gap, but then just life happened and pandemic happened. And but now they're coming up on their second album, Proof, which comes out this Friday. And we're real excited about it because since day one, the band has wanted to explore their sound a bit more. And they've wanted to record with Chris from The World Is a Beautiful Place. Like he did the mixing on the last album and he did the mixing on the EP, but they've never actually been able to like go to a studio and track with him and work with him more hands-on. So this is the first album where they actually got to sit down with him. And because of it, like you get a lot more of the ambiance and the airiness of like World Is a Beautiful Place, but it's still very much a Downhaul record that is confusing genre wise of, thick parts mixed with like some country twang mixed with some, I don't even know. I mean, some emo vibes here and there, and just, they're a good example of in one band being a kind of a genre-less band.
Yep.
When we were talking about it with no earbuds, we were trying to come up with like a for fans of list, and nobody knew what to put down. We're like, they're kind of in their own realm. And we've heard the same thing from like Stereo Gum and I think Brooklyn Vegan both kind of called out. We don't know how to classify them, but I think Olivia from No Earbuds nailed it the best when she described them as the twang from Greet Death, or if you're into the musical tastes of Justin Sawyer from One Tree Hill. It wasn't even like, here's the bands to listen to. It's just like, here's the vibe that we're going for with this.
You know what? Maybe that's the future.
I more like that.
Yeah, maybe that's the future of FFOs, right? Instead of giving bands, because to be honest, I don't think bands like that much anymore, because there's so much baggage that some bands have that they just don't want any. I don't blame anybody for this, by the way. Like, I see this in the scene that bands don't like the FFO anymore. They don't want to be associated for a lot of reasons. But yeah, I mean, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah.
No, by all means. Early on, I mean, when it came to FFOs early on, I struggled. I would always try to make them myself, and then I'd send them to the bands, and I'd ultimately offend them in some way. So I'm like, you guys can make your own and just send it to me. Same with actually describing genres and subgenres. Some bands are very particular about that. So
absolutely.
Oh, good. Yeah. So Downhaul's album comes out this Friday, this Friday. And then Gnawing's in the works. We haven't announced that one yet, but I mean, I think anybody who follows them online knows that something's in the works. And they've got a new album that they've been working on that will be coming out next, and we're real excited to share that one out. And then, I mean, even beyond that, though, this year is probably our most planned out and most packed year that we've had yet. I'm usually the type that plans like maybe 6 months in advance, and we're at the point now where we're starting to plan like a year in advance, and it's kind of mind-boggling to me. It's a new approach. I mean, when we got Bitch Seat, we signed Bitch Seat and put out their EP like in a month and a half maybe. And so this is a very big change to have to plan into 2022 at this point.
Oh, I bet. But it seems like you're doing both approaches quite well. And Bitch Seat's release was one of my favorites so far this year. They caught me off guard. I had never heard of this band before. I'd only heard of them because I was looking at you because I was paying attention to Hit Like a Girl, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how this all kind of happens. That's what community is about. And so I love that this is coming full circle.